If you're sitting in your bedroom telling yourself that I'm going to overcome adult content by sitting here and willpowering my way through, then you're probably going to relapse. I've done that before. I've put myself through the pep talk. I've deleted the apps. I've felt motivated. And I told myself that this is finally going to be the time that I overcome this addiction. And I always ended up failing. And after a few attempts, after a few fails, I realized that I was looking at this problem from the wrong angle. A bad habit is always shaped by your environment. This is a concept that I didn't quite understand when I was going through my first few fails, my first few attempts at quitting. I was in my bedroom for hours and hours and hours on end. I never really went out that much. I didn't really particularly socialize with that many people. So of course I was in my bedroom, and that left me with a lot of free time. So I was scrolling away on the algorithm, doing absolutely nothing, and 9 times out of 10 that led to me relapse. So each and every single time I felt an urge, each and every single time I felt an itch that needed to be scratched, I simply went outside. I went outside, I worked out, I walked, I jogged, I spoke to people. I did everything I possibly could to keep me outside of my bedroom. I learned that you don't need a better argument in your head. The worst thing that you could do when you're feeling an urge is start arguing and fighting with yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, willpower will get you nowhere. The best thing that you can do for yourself when your mind is spiraling is get the body moving. Physical activity will change your life. Trust me when I say this, it's overwhelmingly simple. All you need to do is touch grass more, because I'm willing to bet a lot of you aren't doing that nearly enough as you should be. A lot of you guys are spending your free time consuming things that make you want even more things, and then you wonder why your mind is completely cooked. In order to completely escape from this, you need to first separate yourself from your comfort zone. A lot of you have found comfort in watching adult content. A lot of you have found comfort in watching it in your bedroom. Separate yourself from the environment. I was speaking about this to a guy in my community. I mentioned how incredibly frustrating it can be whilst undergoing the process of this. I taught him to be patient with the process, because you're going to fail, you're going to have ups and downs, but each and every single time you fail, you will learn something from the failure. Upon my failures, maybe I learned something, and it wasn't quite the thing that was directing me to a concrete answer of what I should do. I always thought that if I failed, maybe I should set a password on my apps so that I don't access them at a certain time. Maybe I should restrict myself from searching up certain things and accessing certain websites. But all of this was futile, because whenever that urge came calling, I was in the same environment. I had all this free time on my hands. Of course, I found ways to bypass the security measures that I put in place. You can try everything, but your environment is ultimately what determines your fate. And eventually I came to the conclusion that I couldn't exactly beat lust. I couldn't exactly destroy it. And I stopped painting it as this demonic thing. And it's very easy to fall into the loop of that. Everyone paints out lust to be this demonic thing. Lust is bad. This guy is lusting over women. He can't control his lust. He's an incompetent individual. That's usually how people see you if you are a lustful individual. But I don't see that in other people. And I certainly didn't see that in myself. I knew who and what I was. I knew that I wanted to change, and I knew that I was trying to change. So instead of working against lust, I tried to work with it. The way you have to view it is, lust is a beast that you have to tame. And the example that I'm going to give is a little bit nerd-like. Bear with me. If you haven't watched this series, then it's still going to make sense to you. But this is the example I'm going to give, okay? Now, if you've watched Naruto, you'd understand that from birth he had a 9-tailed fox inside of him, and everyone around him treated him badly and poorly because of it, because it was a demon that caused grievance to many people, right? And lust can function in the same way. Now, Naruto saw this demon inside of him as a burden. Even though he couldn't separate himself from this demon, he tried to suppress it, he tried to work against it. No matter what he did, he saw this demon as a burden. He saw this demon as something that held him back. And as you can imagine, because he was young, because he was inexperienced and never really took out the time to understand the nature of the beast, each and every single time this beast took over, chaos happened. Absolute chaos. Nobody could stop him. He was struggling to even stop himself. And this happened all because he didn't take time to understand the beast. Why it works the way it works, why it feels the way it feels. But in a time of solitude, in a time of isolation, when he finally sat down and thought of what this beast was, what it represented, he could finally understand why he acted in certain ways. He could finally understand how he could use this thing to his greatest advantage. And he went on to do so. Anyways, that's how I view lust, okay? You're a human being, so you're allowed to feel things. You're going to have urges and you're going to feel attraction towards certain people. The question is, what are you going to do when these things show up? Because they're very powerful emotions. The same energy that will have you scrolling late at night, watching things that you shouldn't be watching, is the same energy that you could be pouring into creating, going to the gym, discovering new things, talking to new people. I've had moments where I've been negotiating with myself. I felt myself falling back into my old pattern. And each and every single time I did that, I simply got up and went for a walk and let my brain breathe. It sounds ridiculously simple, but I promise you that's the whole point of this video. Before it can become a behavior, that's all there is to this. And you need to be patient with yourself in doing so. You need to take time to fully understand yourself. This isn't your free time to keep on. You need to interrupt the behavior before it becomes a behavior. You need to be patient with the process and understanding yourself. This isn't your free ticket to keep on relapsing. I'm not co-signing that behavior at all. Before people take this as that, I'm not co-signing this behavior. You simply need to be patient with yourself and understand your line of questioning fully. Why was I doing this? Where was I doing this? How was I feeling? Was I bored? Was I lonely? Each and every single answer that you give is a piece to the puzzle. Eventually, I started understanding the beast, and when you understand something, it becomes much easier to navigate. Don't spend time beating yourself up, hating yourself for having urges. You're a human being, of course, it's normal. It's just important that every single time that this energy does show up, you give it somewhere useful to go. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. I've been coughing uncontrollably throughout this video, so there's going to be quite a few cuts. But I'm sure you guys, hopefully, won't notice that. But anyway, if you guys did appreciate the video, if you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it to a friend or family member who you think may need to see and hear this video. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded people on the path of self-development, then I'll leave a link down below to the Kaizen Club, both in the description and the comment section. I'd love to have absolutely all of you in there. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and God bless.